Welcome to Profiles in Eccentricity, a show about weirdos. With your hosts, John Fahey, Aaron Peter, and Matt Brousseau.
Hello, folks. Welcome to Profiles in Eccentricity. We talk about oddballs and shit. My name is Johnboy. I'm your host, John Francis Fahey. I'd like to introduce you to two friends of mine. One is named Pistofferson, a.k.a. Aaron Joseph Pita.
Hey, man, you really threw me for a loop. I'm scandalized.
A.k.a. Merle Gaggard.
Merle Gaggard.
A.k.a. Johnny Gash.
Oh,
Johnny
wow.
Gash is cool.
Yeah. They're all pretty.
The man in blacks.
Aaron, the man in black. Aaron
Got a ring
Joseph
of fire.
Pita.
And it hurts.
How are you, buddy?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm grand.
It's good to have you back.
Thank you. It's
Yeah.
good to be back.
Well,
And I'll tell you, we're losing this guy coming up to your right, my left is Dolly Sharton.
oh,
Matt Brousseau.
And how?
that song "Blow Lean" is pretty good.
Blow lean?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I put that in my car. All of this come from Mr. John McGrath.
Thank you, John McGrath.
Nice job, John. Nice job, John.
I saw something and it was like, what kind of fucking stacked 10 does Jolene have to be to steal away a man from Dolly Parton?
Yeah.
Big ass.
Yeah.
I mean, Dolly Parton can get it.
Yeah.
Who was Jolene?
Yeah.
I saw a still of Dolly Parton on Letterman, and it was her doing the top 10, and it was just her getting down to the number one thing. And it was, people don't talk about I have a great ass too.
She's just built different.
Shit, man. Built Ford tough, I'll tell you that.
Like a rock.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I am.
Yeah?
Crack rock.
I think I'm built Rob Ford tough.
Yeah.
You like a rock.
Yes.
Yeah.
How does rock? Gentlemen, enough of this fucking around.
Yeah.
This is the part people hate.
Oh, by the way, folks, real quick, my friend, I love her so much, Jessie Lynn Latchett, sent me the Hellbound Heart.
The Clive Barker.
Clive Barker novel, of which then became Hellraiser. And I underlined quite a few things that are going to be happening on the Patreon, which is $5 a month.
The sex scenes?
Oh, dude.
It's trash, huh?
It's real fucking stupid.
Nice.
And it's so funny. It is so funny. It's just, if you like Cenobites, and we like to get into that on the Patreon, especially, your pain is pleasure and vice versa, and your torment never ends, and your suffering will be legendary, and all that good
Et
stuff.
cetera, et cetera.
So stay tuned for that, because we're gonna have some fun with that book.
Oh, are we going to do some readings?
Oh yeah, there's gonna be Huell Hauser will make an appearance.
Are you fucking kidding me?
No. I'm saying you're gonna.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, you're gonna have to read some of this Cenobite talk as Huell Hauser.
Now, it says here that my nipples will be suspended from barbed wire chains, suspended from the testicles of Baphomet. Now, is that a good thing?
Yeah, I didn't see that in the weather report.
Zoom in on this, Hal.
Al Roker.
Yeah.
Al Roker's there reporting on the Cenobite slaughter. Okay, gentlemen, speaking of slaughter.
Uh-oh.
What we got here, I don't like to do the true crime-ish stuff. But I feel like with this profile, there is something, like we've said before, where you are kind of profiling the times as much as the person.
Sure.
And how different they can be. Most of what we'll be dealing with here is in the 1970s.
Prime time. Lead's in the
God's
gasoline.
decade.
Cocaine's in the noses.
Yeah, the 70s, of course, I just want to say, setting the stage here, there is that thing globally where the world is in rebellion. We've got conflicts in all kinds of countries. The Vietnam War is going on. There's a thing where the conservative side, the status quo was seen to be so wrong that kind of questioning everything they did was,
Cool.
It seemed necessary. You know what I mean?
Yes. And probably thanks to our good friend Tim Leary.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that guy definitely would be part of that. Just give me 1 second here.
Oil embargoes.
Uh-huh. I mean,
The Japanese are making their Datsun cars and they're infiltrating the good American highways with their fuel-efficient little shit boxes.
Yep, taking American jobs.
That's right.
Mm-hmm.
It's like half of we didn't start the fire.
Yeah, half of we did. Yeah, 3/4.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you want to know what the 70s were, just listen to the second half of We Didn't Start the Fire.
Or Moving Out, Anthony's song, which is a pretty good time.
Hey.
Yeah.
I like Only the Good Die Young myself.
I don't like any of that fucking assholes shit.
What?
Man.
Anthony's song is good.
Nothing. I don't.
Heart attack,
Yeah. What does he say? So we exclusively do 80s Joels. 80s doo-wop Billy Joel sucks. Start the fire. Okay, let's go back. Let's take it back to the nation of Austria.
Austria.
Yes. And you just watched the Arnold documentary?
Yeah,
So
this is great.
when you see where he grew up, you're like, you forget how preposterously beautiful Austria is.
Yes.
Yeah.
It is.
You've been.
Oh, yeah.
I've been.
Oh, God. It's like a dream.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Rolling green. I mean, it really makes Ireland look like a fucking dumpster fire.
It kind of does. I mean, listen, I love Ireland, but man, when you go because I haven't been to Switzerland, but
very, very similar.
Yeah,
but
but-
Austria's big. It's more. It's
fucking
more.
waterfalls and the lush greenery.
Lakes. You could ride a bike everywhere.
Yeah.
And then there's a winter.
Oh.
You get the snowfall.
And I don't know if it just seemed like, I guess it was somehow miraculously untouched by the war, or there's not a lot to bomb, I guess.
Yeah, I don't know if the Allies bombed it that much.
Yeah, I don't think so either. But I think
It's
that was
definitely touched by
that
the war.
documentary, The Sound of Music, involved some Nazi
It
stuff.
certainly does. Yeah, the Nazis were definitely there.
Well, in the spring of '45, the Axis powers were in defeat, and Austria was occupied by the Allies.
Okay.
And in 1949, Teresa Unterweger, Unterweger, Unterweger.
Unterweger.
She was a young Vietnamese barmaid. Viennese barmaid.
Even better.
She was seeing Jack.
I have to tell you.
Tell me.
I was driving down the road the other day, and there's a guy in a Hummer.
Nice.
License plate, to Boku.
Oh my God, that's good.
I was like trying to get my phone. I'm like, I'm gonna fucking crash.
Oh my God.
I was like, I just gotta let this go.
That's so fucking
Amazing.
good.
Number 2.
Boku. That's
I'm
holy shit.
gagged on my own saliva.
Astonishing.
Sorry.
So she's a young Viennese barmaid, and she's seeing Jack Becker, an American soldier that she met in Trieste, Italy, and she became pregnant. But around that time, she was also arrested for fraud.
Uh-oh.
Womp.
But not, she wasn't faking the pregnancy.
Counterfeit ejaculate?
Whose baby is this?
Counterfeit ejaculate. A judge was being compassionate, and he signed her release. And she traveled to Graz for the delivery of the baby.
Arnold.
Yes, Johann Jack Unterweger was born on August 16th, 1950, in Judenburg, Styria, Austria. It is unknown if Jack Becker, the American soldier, ever met little Jack. He claimed later that his mother was a sex worker and that his father was merely a client.
Huh.
Okay. But with his middle name.
In a
too.
way, aren't we all?
Yeah.
What?
Well, he has Jack as his middle name. So.
He goes by Jack. She named,
And his dad was named Jack.
yes.
Yeah, okay.
But,
Math checks out.
Just a client.
So she was arrested again in 1953, and Jack was only 3 years old, and she was sent to prison.
Shit.
So this is like going to factor into how he's going to view women. Austria has cities with red light districts, and sex work is legal.
Nice.
But it's regulated to preserve health, safety.
Good.
Boo.
We have a difference of opinions.
Fucking
here.
big condom town.
There's another example of the government getting into your bedroom.
Overreach into my pants.
Only 3 pumps. And you must come.
There's a man watching you at all times.
Yeah.
Now.
Now, go on, do it.
1, 2, 3.
I'm a cop, you idiot.
It's not a tumor.
He was sent to live with his grandfather, who was known to be a rough fellow, a violent alcoholic. They shared a shack out in the middle of nowhere in Carinthia, the alpine countryside. The grandfather regularly made Jack help him steal farm animals. Can you imagine these fucking jackasses? It's like, get the sheep.
He sold jackasses?
Yeah, that was his pitch.
Come on, Jack. We go down.
Come on, get that donkey. Let's get out of here.
Steal the cow.
Let's walk down and steal some of them jackasses.
No,
Oh, let's run down. Steal them all.
Let's start to stampede out of here.
Just, Jack, I noticed you got 3 cows today. You only had 1 yesterday.
Crazy.
Yeah.
I have so much more now.
I know. They grow up so fast.
Yes, exactly. Totally off topic.
And he would bring home a lot of prostitutes as well, Grandpa.
That's
and the shack is, small.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
It's a shack, after all. There's only one big shack in the world.
O'Neill.
And so there was a woman who said that this was not true. This was Jack's telling. And somebody told a reporter later that Jack had a step grandmother that also lived there for years. In 1955, the Allies leave. After 7 years, the state found Jack's grandfather unfit to raise him. Good God. Jack started being shuffled between a series of different foster homes, and he said later that he had absolutely no memories of positive feelings during his childhood.
It's a good recipe for a standout citizen.
Yeah. When he was asked about his childhood, even though Jack would later be known to be very talkative, he would say very little. At a young age, he starts skipping school and breaking into homes. He started drinking alcohol at 14. Nice.
They got that good Bavarian beer over there.
He said around this time his aunt was murdered by a customer while she was working as a sex worker. And he said that would have a profound impact on him.
That's not cool.
No.
Murdering sex workers is not cool.
Yeah, and neither is assaulting them, which Jack did a year later.
Oh my God.
And he would spend a year in a home for delinquents. At the age of 16, he was out on his own with virtually nobody.
Yeah.
And he started wandering all over German-speaking Europe. And he spent some time waiting tables. He was in and out of jail for a lot of his late adolescence. Between 66 and 74, he was convicted 16 times, mostly for theft. But also for pimping.
Oh.
Okay.
You go over there, run down the street, I'll be here with my cane.
You bring me the money.
Yes.
Bring me the donkey.
And then his crimes toward women started becoming increasingly violent. That included charges of abducting a minor, rape, and assaulting a sex worker with a steel rod. Ouch. Yeah. Winter 1974, Jack is 24, broke, and looking for an easy mark, and his girlfriend is at the time was a woman named Barbara Schultz. She was a sex worker from a town in West Germany. They were visiting her hometown and taking a drive, and he spotted a school friend of Barbara's, 18-year-old Margaret Schaefer, and offered her a ride. And she gets in the car.
With both of them?
Yes. And his first instinct was to rob her and then rob her family's house.
That's the first instinct.
Yeah.
Not drive her safely.
Yeah. That's way down there.
Yeah.
And then he drives her safely to a wooded area.
Uh-oh.
Oh, good.
Yeah. And he tells her to get out of the car and undress. And he told her he was going to have sex with her, and she refused. And then he bludgeoned her with a steel pipe, and he strangled her with her bra. And he covered her body with leaves before leaving. The bra is still hanging off her neck when he leaves her there, and Barbara is just frozen with terror in the car.
She's just watching it happen?
Yeah. Almost positive she's next.
Yeah.
And probably had some physical abuse. You have to imagine by that point.
She, I mean, well, there's this thing where I don't know why some people get the girlfriend treatment and some people get the women are whores treatment.
Right.
But it's a thing that, that is I don't fucking like Ted Bundy dated that girl for fucking years.
Yeah.
And he would ask her to pretend she was dead and shit like that. Do you remember all that?
Yeah.
Like, and you go like, why is she okay? And all of it, yeah.
What makes me the lucky one?
Yeah.
Wow. He never killed me.
He was always very non-murderous to me.
Yeah.
I think these girls had it coming.
God.
Yikes.
So the police question Barbara, and then she tells them everything. And under Austrian law, this is interesting. You are tried in Austria for crimes abroad.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So he was tried in Salzburg for the slaying in West Germany. And he was declared insane by a psychologist who described him as a sexually sadistic psychopath with narcissistic and histrionic tendencies, prone to fits of rage and anger. He is an incorrigible perpetrator. Wow. He assumed a jury would sympathize with him because of his maternal abandonment at a young age.
Yes.
You assume.
Well, look, I mean, he killed somebody, but his mom, she was out of
I'm
the
just
picture.
a simple narcissistic sociopath. Incorrigible.
Yeah.
Your morals frighten
Yeah.
confuse me.
That man said a lot of big words about me. I don't know what any of them mean. I'm a wandering orphan. I'm a widow baby.
Something about those words make me want to take out a, steel pipe.
Just crack him over the dome with it. You get it.
Looking at you, juror number 12. Right? That guy knows what I'm talking about. Continue, Judge.
So he took the stand and claimed that he had not seen his mother's face, or that he had seen his mother's face in Margaret's eyes as he killed her. He broke into tears and said, "I'm so sorry I've done this. I hope the jury gives me another chance."
To do what?
Yeah.
And Jack was found guilty of the crime of murder, which carried a life sentence.
Okay.
And that's that.
End of profile.
1976, Stein Prison.
Oh, Stein.
Yeah.
Stein Prison's a good name for a prison.
It's a great name for a prison. Maximum security prison in Krems,
Ooh.
starting in 76. He was also being looked at by an investigator in Salzburg, August Schenner. And he suspected that Jack killed a sex worker named Marcia Horvath, who was found strangled and dumped in Lake Salzachsee near Salzburg in 74. Schenner was unable to convince his colleagues of Jack's role in the killing, and they never pursued charges. Salzburg police were satisfied with the knowledge that Jack would be spending the rest of his life in prison, so they weren't.
Don't put a hat on a hat.
Yeah.
Right.
But like other Western nations, Austria was responding to the social movements of the 1960s with more liberal government policies.
Uh-huh.
Austria's liberals dreamed of a prisonless society and demanded the penal system be overhauled. In 1970, the Austrian government launched a resocialization program with the mindset that even the most violent offender could be rehabilitated. Before his imprisonment, Jack Unterweger claimed to be almost functionally illiterate. But at Stein Prison, he was determined to catch up on all the learning he had missed out on as a petty thug. He was a mainstay at the prison library, devouring books by the dozen. With his prison typewriter, Jack started crafting his own poems, plays, short stories. His literary output was tremendous.
Was it good, though?
Did he predate Cenobites by a good 10, 20 years?
What do you mean? Writing about them
Yeah.
or being
Yeah.
one?
I've dreams of these crazy creatures, ghoulish creatures from the netherworld. Have all sorts of metal apparatuses on their faces, the nipples, the vaginas, etc.
Yeah, they extend the suffering, of course.
You have some sort of Rubik's Cube-like device to open up the portal to the realm.
The ancient demons, they think, it's funny if you cry.
Yeah. I love this kind of stuff.
Yeah.
All these things.
They're so old that they forgot what the pleasure is pain and vice versa.
It's all
the
a haze.
same shit, different day.
Right, Matt?
So,
Clive Barker, it's a schmuck.
this guy's going to make Clive Barker look like Trey Parker.
And the Matt Stein character.
So, he starts seeking out publishers. On the state radio station, which is ORF.
Larry Flint.
ORF. This is like public radio, the BBC of Austria. Österreichische Rundfunk is what ORF stands for.
I love their playlist.
50 of his children's stories were broadcast
You gotta be fucking kidding me.
on that network.
Oh my God.
Like animated or just a
Radio, yeah. The children's stories gained him a lot of sympathy in the press. The public thought he might actually be a sensitive and compassionate man. And a music teacher and single mother was so moved by his work that she visited him in prison and testified at his parole hearing. And she really believed that a man who wrote with such stories was full of love. And the Austrian literary elite, made him like, a cause celeb kind of thing. And he was, kind of the proof that the arts can save and rehabilitate somebody. And he was allowed to give televised readings of his work from prison. 1983, the year of the Johnboy.
Oh, wow. Coincidence?
He's riding real high.
Still in prison.
It's a life sentence.
Top floor.
His autobiography is called Purgatory, or The Trip to Prison, Report of a Guilty Man. And it's, telling how he was a lonely boy, abandoned by his mother, abused by his grandfather, and then taken through the foster care system, the stupid crimes he committed when he was young, and how he was saved in prison by art. Quote, I wielded my steel rod among prostitutes in Hamburg, Munich, and Marseille. I had enemies, and I conquered them through my inner hatred. Purgatory was a commercial and critical success.
Wow.
He was allowed to attend the premiere of his play Endstation Zuchthaus, which is terminal prison, at the Vienna People's Theater, and it won an Austrian Literary Prize in 1984.
Damn.
Damn.
Sideshow Bob character here.
1985, very much, very good. But in 1985, a campaign to pardon and release Unterweger from prison commenced. Writers, artists, journalists, politicians agitated for a pardon, including Elfriede Jelinek and Günter Grass. Günter Grass of the Tin Drum.
Oh. Any hookers write letters of rec?
I don't know. Austrian playwright Elfriede Jelinek was awarded the 2004 Nobel Prize in Literature. Günter Grass was a German novelist, poet, playwright, artist, and the recipient of the 1999 Nobel Prize in Literature.
Wow.
And he's known best for The Tin Drum, 1959, which is a key text in European magic realism.
Huh. I've never heard of it.
Me neither.
Oh, my buddy Nevin loves it. And there was a movie made later that has a pretty iconic cover of this terrified-looking little drummer boy on it.
Cool.
Yeah.
It's pretty cool.
Terrified children, man.
Yeah. Out of sight.
No wonder this guy recommended to get out of prison. He was a terrified child.
Yeah.
Grass was an active supporter of the Social Democratic Party of Germany. The Tin Drum was adapted into a film. Yes, I said that. And it was an Academy Award winner of 1979 Best Foreign Language Film.
No shit.
Wow.
Yeah. Austrian President Rudolf Kirchschlager refused the petition when presented to him, citing the court-mandated minimum of 15 years in prison.
So, yeah, he hasn't even done 15 yet.
Yeah,
Christ.
because 76 and we're at, 85 now?
Yeah, okay.
So 1989, Purgatory becomes the basis for a documentary and commercial film adaptation. It was directed by Wilhelm Hengstler, a screenwriter and director from Graz. By this time, there was widespread support for his release. As a statement signed by supporters put it, quote, Austrian justice will be measured by the Unterweger case.
Well, let's remember that line.
But what did Werner Herzog have to say?
I don't know.
His steel rod was obviously a surrogate for his father's phallus.
Which he never saw.
Think about if instead of a steel rod, we had put an artist's brush in there and allowed him to flourish as a creative.
Instead, he was chewed up by the capitalist machine. Brought to you by the United States and their allies.
A psychiatrist concludes that he's gone straight,
Oh,
sublimating his aggression through writing.
I love to supplement.
Oh, hopefully he keeps writing.
May 23rd, 1990.
Cool.
After serving 15 years, Jack was paroled at the age of 39.
Jesus.
Fuck.
The prison warden observed, "We will never find a prisoner so well prepared for freedom." Out of prison, he became a genuine celebrity.
Yeah, he's prepared for freedom. Was he prepared for celebrity?
I don't think anybody is.
It was only days before he gave his first public reading as a free man. 2 weeks after his parole, he appeared in a talk show, Club 2. The topic was penal reform. He was a free man and celebrated author living and now working in Vienna. He chatted with intellectuals on television. He frequented trendy cafes and posed for magazine covers. He was photographed by the paparazzi. The literati invited him to their soirees, almost as a point of conversation. A token criminal prodigy.
Yeah.
Now you've murdered somebody before. Yes, why don't you tell the whole crew about this? We've never picked up any sort of steel or even aluminum rods, anything like that. What is it like to crush this skull? You know? Do tell.
Yeah. Sometimes the critics, I want to strangle them, so I understand.
The vitriol and the animosity and pure violence.
That
man.
fat pig Ebert, I'd like to really choke him out.
Does anybody have his bra around?
I'll tell you what, I bet Ebert wears a bra for his flabby physique.
Siskel, no, he's tight though. He's
good
very
guy.
tight.
Good guy, good
Solid guy, solid buttocks.
Solid buttocks.
So he goes out of the prison uniform and just starts dressing real fashionably. He's like a sexy boy. He would wear a white silk suit.
Oh boy.
With a red flower, and many rings on his fingers. He was only 5'5", and he carried himself like a much larger man. He looked particularly intimidating in one magazine photo spread where he was wearing only blue jeans, and his torso is very muscular and heavily tattooed.
Cool.
And he did another photo shoot where he's like in a like a cobwebby attic, and there's a rope lying around. And he ties that into a noose, of course, and posed alongside it. He drove a Ford Mustang.
Nice.
With the license plate Jack 1. Jack, the number 1.
Yeah.
not Jack 1.
But also he did. I mean,
he did Jack 1.
I jacked 1 or 2.
He ejaculated.
Yeah.
Chacon.
He was being taught in Austrian schools, and his plays were still being performed on the Austrian radio. The publications of his works are bestsellers. And he starts working for ORF as a journalist on TV.
Oh my God.
Do you know what people were saying about his works? Like,
they felt like there was a lot of humanity in them, and in the children's stories as well. And then it was, this thing about sorrow and prison reform and
look how gracious we are.
Yes.
Look at us.
Mm-hmm.
Look how forgiving we are and how we're able to reform this guy. It's a bit of a pat on the back.
Well, but there's also a thing there too where you're going like, there's this party that goes like, are we all damned? And or like, can we, if we can save him, we can save us all.
Sure.
So this is,
they know the Cenobites are just right behind.
Yeah,
the
they're
door,
just waiting
for the right moment.
So Jack is out. He's free. He's dressing like $1 million.
Cruising around in a Stang.
Yeah, and it's
Jack 1.
Jack on.
I'm sure nothing can possibly go wrong.
No, on the up and up.
And I think we're going to take a little break, and we'll be right back. And we're back. So, fellas.
So he retires early and, just lives a life.
Opens up a dairy farm and
rides off into the sunset.
Tyrol.
Someone steals a goat and rides it.
Milks.
Now, on September 14th, 1990.
This isn't long after.
No.
Okay.
Blanka Blakova.
Street Fighter.
This is in Prague, Czechoslovakia.
Mm-hmm.
She's gone out with her friends for a drink in Wenceslas Square. Most of her party left around 11:45, and she sticks around. She was last seen talking to a 40-something-year-old man, but no one could recall any more details than that.
He carried a noose with him.
She was not a prostitute.
Mm-hmm.
Jack was in Prague that night researching an article on the red light district.
Is that a...
Oh, the celebrated children's author?
Yeah, I'm doing some research there, too.
And so he picks her up from the bar, takes her for a drive in the car, and strangles her with her clothes, and leaves her in the forest at the city's edge.
Jesus Christ.
The next day, some people walking along the river see her naked body covered with leaves, her clothes still wrapped around her neck.
So all of those years later, he does the exact same thing in every way.
The murder weapon was the victim's bra.
Yeah.
Now, because of the elastic bands on a brassiere, the bra by itself can be used as a tourniquet for strangling. And Jack made a cut in the shoulder strap and reconfigured the bands and straps to create 3 ligatures. That way he could, quote, tie the nooses at maximum tension.
Oh, my God. This guy's...
And then...
studied engineering.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
And in true Cenobite fashion, part of the purpose of this was to draw it out and make it take longer. And then he could like...
Really enjoy.
Yeah. October 26th, 39-year-old well-known sex worker from Graz, Brunhilde Masse.
Well known.
Well known.
Everyone knows Brunhilde.
Yeah.
She's reported missing, and they... the authorities are concerned because they rarely dealt with homicides or abductions.
Oh, my God.
This country averaged 1 sex worker murder per year. December 5th, a 31-year-old sex worker, Heidemarie Hammerer, went missing in the city of Bregenz. Bregenz is in the extreme west of the country, 387 miles from Vienna. Heidemarie Hammerer had been in the profession for 10 years and knew how to size up potentially dangerous clients. Yeah. A few weeks later, on New Year's Eve, they found her body in the woods outside town. A pair of tights were still tied around her neck, and she had bruises and ligament marks on her wrists. She was most likely tied up before the murder and dragged to the location. They caught one lucky break. They were able to pull some red fibers off the victim's body that appeared to be from the killer's clothing.
The finest Chinese silk anyone had ever seen.
Never seen in Austria.
There's only one man with this kind of style.
Yeah.
Famed children's author.
Yeah.
Jack!
One.
They found Brunhilde Masse's corpse quite accidentally in a forest in early 91. She'd been missing since October, and her partially nude body was heavily decomposed. She had been stabbed as well as strangled with her tights. 1991, March 7th, 35-year-old Elfriede Schrempf disappeared from Graz. Her parents let the police know they'd been harassed that they'd been harassed over the phone. A man had called her house several times and taunted them about their daughter being a sex worker.
Jesus Christ.
Oh, my God.
And their number was unlisted, so it seemed like it was somebody that had some knowledge. Sylvia Zagler, age 23, April 8th, 1991, went missing. Regina Prem, 32, her remains were never found. It's believed Jack killed her between the 16th and 17th. Regina actually had a husband, Rudolph.
Oh, no.
Who was desperately looking, contacting the police for any word about his missing wife. He offered a public reward of about 10,000 shillings, which is approximately $1,000 for information leading to his wife's safe return.
Don't break the bank, buddy.
Well, I mean, I'm guessing
91
probably
times.
not a lot of money.
Yeah. I guess it's the thought that counts.
So she was, he said she was a wonderful mother and that she became addicted to sleeping pills, and that's what brought her into sex work.
Oh, okay.
I've never heard of anybody being addicted to sleeping pills. May 7th, 1991, Karen Iroglu Sladky, a sex worker aged 25, was reporting missing from Vienna. Monday, May 20th, 91, another sex worker, Zabina Moltzi, age 25, was found by a hiker in the Vienna woods.
Jesus Christ, this is so many fucking people.
And he's getting
Like
younger, too.
No one... There must be some stakeout of the red light districts, right?
Jack is on TV reporting on these murders.
No fucking way.
What? We go now to the man with some weird, detailed knowledge.
Now, you used to strangle people with their bra. What do you think's going on here, Jack? I've never seen such a grisly scene, fellas.
This guy is good. Let me tell you this right here. This guy really knows how to make a good ligature, you know what I mean?
The humanity of it.
I mean, it really, one can only imagine the thrill that he's getting while he's killing these poor women.
Christ,
I'm a different man now, but honestly, I'm really envious of the precision in which this guy is murdering these sex workers.
No one...
We stand on the precipice of having no prostitutes to have sex with anymore. It's amazing.
Much less murder them.
No one's going, I don't know if this is like the best idea to have the guy who killed people report on killing people.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah. Because, I mean, that's his thing, is like prison reform, crime, like he's that guy.
He's the poster boy.
Jesus Christ.
2 days later, May 22nd, the newspaper Courier published a front-page story. Prostitute in Vienna murdered, 3 still missing. 4 prostitutes have gone missing without a trace from the Penzing neighborhood of Vienna. Now there is grave concern for the lives of 3 still missing. In the red light district, the fear of death prevails. At the time, Silence of the Lambs was playing in theaters. Jack called it a positively brilliant film.
Jeez. I mean, he's right.
We go now to our movie reviewer. It's a movie about serial killers. We got one guy.
Yeah. Dead Man Walking? Hated it.
I give it 2 bras down.
Jesus Christ.
So, they ironically start calling the killer they don't know Jack the Strangler.
Yeah. It's right there for you. It's right there.
Do they have they call him and they're like, Jack, close your eyes. I want you to picture anything you can tell us about this guy.
He must drive a really cool car, something, I'm guessing.
Yeah. He's ripped.
Yeah. Cool tattoos.
He's short, but he stands tall.
Yeah. I think it's none other than running back O.J. Simpson. The weather was especially rainy, so that kind of, set the investigations back because it's washing away evidence, literally, because all these things are in the woods.
Oh, fuck, right.
No one had seen the women depart with their last clients. A woman was out looking for food for her guinea pig on May 23rd.
What?
When she found Karen Aroglu Sladkey's body 10 miles from Vienna
so she's going to the forest for guinea pig food. Okay.
I guess, yeah.
Whatever. That's suspicious.
Yeah.
I'm just out here looking for food for my guinea pig. That's all.
No, that makes more sense than going to a fucking animal store.
Jack had gagged her with her stockings and hit her with a blunt object and strangled her with a ligature. And, then he does that thing where he half covers it up like a dog covers up shit.
Yeah.
It's just lazy burying.
But he wants people to find it.
Yeah. Why even fuck with the leaves?
It's instinct, man.
Well, you can't have just any body lay. Yeah.
He kicks it up as he leaves. Yeah. So they had one more victim and a ton of evidence to piece together. And they were coming. The papers are coming up with headlines about the killings. Jack is showing up at police headquarters to ask about the case.
Of course. Now, if we look at the calendar of when killings occurred, I can't quite put my finger on the.
And he went around and he interviewed prostitutes about the murders in the red light district, and interviewed the chief investigator.
Oh, so he's just.
Where are you guys going to be hiding?
He's just getting off on all of this.
Wow.
And yeah, he kind of wanted to gauge the level of fear on the streets. I mean, celebrity murderer, it's fucking out of control. And he would go on talk shows and talk about the murders.
Yeah, of course.
On the street interviews,
he's actually making money off of the murders.
Good money.
Yeah.
Good money. Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
Walking around in a silk suit.
Hey.
Jack.
Ah!
Jealous.
Jealous. Some members of law enforcement were suspicious of Jack.
Oh, good. Oh, the best and brightest.
But now that he's a celebrity, they had to tread carefully, right? He was a symbol of the state's ability to reform a violent felon.
Sure was.
And a darling of the literati. And they tried to come up with other compelling suspects. And the August Schenner, who was trying to get Jack for that other murder before he went to prison, he's retired at this point.
One more job.
Call him up.
One more job.
I'm getting too old for this, you scheisse.
And he recalled that 2 murders he dealt with in the 70s had strikingly similar crime scenes to these.
Strikingly similar.
Yeah. To these recent slayings. And he remembered that Jack was especially manipulative. And he used an array of people around him for his own ends. Dr. Ernst Geiger of the Austrian Federal Police, now retired, requested the police in Vienna and Graz keep Jack under discreet surveillance.
Now we're talking.
Yeah. Either we have a copycat killer or a cat.
Killer.
Yeah, killer.
Monday, June 3rd, Jack visited police headquarters for an interview with Chief Max Edelbacher about the killings. He told him he was writing a story for Journal Panorama, a current affairs radio program. He explained that he'd been assigned this story because his aunt had been a sex worker who was killed by a client.
Yeah, that's why.
Yeah, that's the ticket.
Yeah.
And he said that through his aunt, he came to understand how difficult women's lives were.
I make them that way.
Yeah, from his own personal.
June 10th, he goes back to Edelbacher's office to say he's going to L.A. to do a story for an Austrian magazine about crime and law enforcement in Los Angeles and the difference between U.S. and European attitudes to prostitution.
Hide your hooker, City of Angels.
Yeah. Now, do the police look up at whether he actually is assigned these stories? Is he actually assigned these stories?
Most of them, yes.
Oh, okay,
yeah.
okay.
Maybe this one, I don't know,
Mhm.
because now he's also leaving the country.
Oh boy.
But he asked Edelbacher for contacts in the LAPD.
Oh.
And
Good guys.
Yeah.
And he said it's
90s.
90s, yeah.
he
great.
wants to go on ride-alongs.
I
Yeah.
bet he does.
Yep.
Rampart Division, maybe. Yeah.
Jack comes in to this sunny place we know as Los Angeles.
Hollywood.
Wow.
City of Dreams.
And other stuff.
Hollywood land. He rents a sports car,
Nice.
Jack 2.
books a room at the infamous Hotel Cecil, downtown LA.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
It was popular with sex workers,
Yeah, I think it still is.
I bet it was.
and it was close to LAP headquarters.
Uh-huh.
So,
Everything he needs.
yeah, he can work and play.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, when you do what you love.
He was also determined to meet Charles Bukowski.
Oh my God. Another guy who loves women.
Yeah. June 19th, he commits his first murder in LA. He's taking the show on the road, Aaron.
Jesus.
Shannon Exley, only 20 years old, called her dad before leaving for work. She said she was trying to get her life together. She left with her last customer after midnight and drove east to a vacant lot behind Girl Scout Center on 7th and Fickett. He strangled her with her own bra and left her body in the lot.
Jesus Christ.
This is where the cop goes, do I have contacts in the LAPD? Maybe we should share
Yeah.
info. Hey, you know that guy I sent you?
Whoops.
Yeah. That was an oopsie.
Yep.
On the morning of June 20th, Jack had a meeting with a photographer who was close to Bukowski, and he hoped to make an introduction. Jack visited the LAPD Parker Center on the morning of Monday, June 24th. He was seeking permission to ride with some patrol officers. He also wanted to interview Chief Darrell Gates to discuss racial tensions in the city following the release of the Rodney King tape.
Very good.
He got himself a Homes of the Stars map and goes to Zsa Zsa Gabor's house, Austrian,
Yeah.
and
From the Green Acres, etc. I love
both talented.
yeah, she's from Vienna.
Yeah. Ava was like, we dodged a bullet.
Her husband meets him at the door and explains that she only does paid interviews. For Austrian journalists, she only does paid interviews. He drives out to Cher's place in Malibu.
No.
Cool.
He's turned away at the gate. he does meet with fellow Austrian filmmaker Robert Dornheim to pitch his biopic.
Uh-huh.
The whole biopic, or is it like selective telling?
Yeah, just the good stuff.
Yeah.
And they had a long conversation with it, but Jack did not leave with any kind of a deal. June 28th, a homeless man is foraging for firewood in a parking lot, and he finds 33-year-old Irene Rodriguez dead. She was partially dressed and to be dumped underneath a big rig trailer with a bra knotted around her neck.
Jesus fuck.
So
it seems to be the thing is if you're a hooker, don't wear a bra.
Yeah, that's good takeaway, Aaron.
Yeah. He's like, oh fuck, I don't know what to do now. I guess we'll just have sex.
Yeah.
Well, this is a lot better.
Yeah. This feels so good. What the fuck was I doing? I've been doing it all wrong. On the morning of July 11th, a couple of men took their kids up to Corral Canyon Road in Malibu to check out a solar eclipse. They go up to a steep hill to get a good view, and under a shrub was a dead woman. Bra knotted around her neck. Her name was Sherry Ann Long, or Peggy Jean Booth. Both names. Both good names.
Yeah, those aren't good names. Yeah.
So she'd been dead for 4 to 7 days, which would be around July 4th, July 7th. In Austria, August Schenner, retired investigator, had convinced police to look at Jack more closely.
And no sex workers have died in this period?
Yeah, Jack's been gone and leads right up.
No.
It was certainly noticed that no new sex workers had gone missing while Jack was in L.A.
Wow, he must be the muse for some guy.
Yeah. He's a lightning rod.
Yeah.
More representatives from law enforcement started coming forward, being willing to look at Jack as responsible for the killings.
Oh, thanks, guys, for coming forward and being...
Dr. Geiger could see he would have to double down on Jack and arrest him or eliminate him as a suspect and pursue others. After several months, they had accumulated many links to the man's movements in places where the victims had been murdered. Unterweger was in Graz when Masser was murdered. He was also in Bregenz when Hammerer was vanished. Witness testified that he was similar to a man she had seen Hammerer with just before she disappeared, and that he'd been wearing a brown leather jacket and a red scarf.
Red fiber.
Yes. Sightings with other victims were established. He comes back to Austria in July, and he
went on vacation to murder. Then he had to go back home.
Yeah, you just gotta get out of this whole
you gotta get away from the grind.
Yeah.
But it was a working vacation.
Yes, yes. For better or worse.
It keeps bringing me back in.
You know, there's nothing I like more than hanging out with cops and fucking prostitutes. Man.
Yeah.
And they love hanging out with murderers.
Yeah.
What the fuck is their deal?
Somebody better look into those guys.
So the audacity of this motherfucker is real wild. He starts writing articles criticizing the police. And
Your fucking job.
Idiots.
On their job of tracking down the killer.
I was just bored.
And a lot of people were on board supporting, you know?
Yeah.
He's trying to play catch and mouse and no one's chasing.
Come on.
Yeah.
And they honestly couldn't imagine Jack was capable of these crimes, his supporters.
Even though he already did it.
And they thought, oh, he's already did 15 years. He'd never want to go back, you know, like that sort of shit.
There's no hookers to kill in jail.
No,
Yeah.
he wouldn't spend all day thinking about it. You know?
August 4th, they find Sylvia Zagler. She'd been missing since April 8th. And then Dr. Geiger goes, I wonder if anything happened in L.A. Contacts the LAPD. He learns they were investigating 3 killings. And all died by strangulation by clothing, which is kind of a niche thing.
It is.
Detectives in Graz are comparing notes on the cases of Masser and Schrempf. And she was killed in October. Masser and Schrempf was killed in March. Both women were sex workers found dumped in the woods close to the city. They brought Jack in for an interview at the station. On the record, he stated that he had no recollection of where he was on the dates. But he recalled that on the night of March 7th, he was with his girlfriend in Vienna. The Graz police learned that was a lie.
Lying to the cops. That's where I draw the line.
Yeah, it's the one thing you can't do.
This reporter is the one that that uncovered it was an alibi. He looked up a copy of the local newspaper from that week in March, and he found a notice in the arts section about Jack giving a reading in a cafe. And it's 20 miles from Graz on the 7th. And the other records showed that he was in Graz when Master was killed, so him not recalling doesn't even fucking matter. And he met, so Dr. Geiger then meets with a lot of the sex workers that he had spoken with as a journalist during the killings. At that time, Jack's car had broken down and he'd sold it for parts. Detectives managed to track the parts down.
There you go.
And they permitted to carry out forensic tests, and they found hairs from the car seats that belonged to Unterweger and Bakova.
What the? That is detective.
Yeah, that's the
could
good
have
stuff.
all been avoided if they just paid attention to him. But to track down all
They're
the
getting strangled with bras. And one dies a year.
Yeah.
And the guy
and it's
the guy
on his fucking passport.
Yeah.
and he's all over the TV, and he's like, "You might know me from strangling someone from a bra."
Yeah.
Anyways, here's a hooker who got strangled with a bra.
Can you fucking believe this shit?
And the cops aren't even doing anything.
I gotta tell you this real quick. I'm not remembering the comic's name, and on a future broadcast, I'll say it. But I saw some of the guys from Crank Yankers doing like a live prank phone call show at
Comedy store.
No, it was that place next to Tam O'Shanter, that bar.
Oh, used to be the Griffin.
Yeah, it's got that little tiny room.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But there was comedians in between. This comic did some joke that ended with something about Euphoria, and then he goes to someone in the crowd. He goes, "You watch Euphoria, sir?" And the guy goes, "Yeah." He goes, "You do? What's your favorite part? The kids fucking? Can you believe this guy?"
That's good.
Yeah.
Shout out to that comic over there.
Nice Nice moment of levity.
God, it was good. Yeah, I did. Do something. There's too many people getting killed. In this.
Yeah.
Too many people getting killed in this fucking story.
Yeah.
Back to the kids fucking.
Yeah. Perhaps maybe some more Arnold voice would raise the levity.
Maybe we could spruce it up a little bit. Make things a little more light.
So the hair that was from the first victim in Prague.
Still like on the fucking seat of
Yeah.
the Mustang after some car refurbisher bought it.
Yeah.
They get a warrant to search his apartment. They find a brown leather jacket and a red scarf.
And a red. This guy.
The jacket and red scarf set off alarm bells.
Oh yeah?
Oh no. Not the hair.
Yeah, not every other logical thing. People are getting strangled in LA. Curious.
He's got a year's subscription to Brazier of the Month.
Yeah.
He's got schematics of underwires.
Yeah.
Yeah, you see like 15 bras with cut marks in them where he hasn't figured out the move
Yeah, he
yet.
saw Madonna's cone bra and
Yeah.
he's like, if only.
Yeah.
One day I'm going to get Madonna's bra and I'm going to strangle her with it. It'll look very nice with the cones and everything, etc.
Isn't it so funny too that like he only went to 2 celebrity women?
Well,
Well, he wanted to see Bukowski. That's
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, compare notes.
Yeah. The post
God.
office, how
Can
is
you
it?
imagine he got in a room with fucking Jaja or Cher?
I think Cher would have fucking eaten him
Yeah.
alive.
Yeah, he's 5'5". Sure.
Cher's a 6'8" Armenian queen. She would have stomped all over
Yeah.
his little nutsack.
So they did the lab testing on the scarf.
Oh, good.
They got an arrest warrant. But Jack had already been tipped off by friends that the police were coming.
Good friends.
Friends, yeah. Great. The friends who got him out of jail, I presume.
Solid
Yeah.
friends, dude.
He was on the run with his 18-year-old girlfriend, Bianca Mirak.
No, Bianca. No.
Go on.
It's so young.
But she probably doesn't even know he went to jail at that point.
She probably grew up reading his fucking
Yeah,
books.
exactly.
She still lives at home with her parents.
Oh.
And she's on the run with Jack.
Oh.
Wanted murderer.
Noted author.
Yeah. Esteemed poet.
Yeah. Hello. Let's not bury the lead here.
Yeah. Everybody's reading his books to their children while tucking them in.
Yeah. Well-traveled literary.
Sleep tight.
Yeah. He decided the best course of action was to disappear into a big American city. And
Des Moines.
they drive through Austria, Switzerland, France. They drive to the French city of Orly near Paris, and they fly to Miami.
Great.
Jack was obsessed with Miami Vice.
Of course,
Yeah.
with the white suits, etc., sports cars.
No longer on the air, but he's still real into it.
Loves cops.
They flew on their own passports.
Jesus.
Hey, should we tell like Interpolers? No. They'll figure it out.
You know, there's a part of me that really hopes he did get to kill a bunch of people in Miami, though. You know?
The cops were fully expecting to make an arrest when they gained access to Jack's Vienna apartment on Valentine's Day, 1992. Among his personal items were photos of Jack posing alongside female members of the LAPD. They found receipts from a Malibu seafood restaurant.
Ooh, which one? Neptune's Net?
Oh, probably.
Or the Paradise Cove, of course.
Yeah,
right there. Put your toes in the sand.
Don't want to divide the audience.
Yeah.
Pick your poison.
Yeah.
And that's close to where Sherry Ann Long's body had been dumped. He saved receipts from the hotels that were near Shannon Exley and Irene Rodriguez's body. He's really not covering his tracks too well.
Well,
He couldn't even cover up the dead bodies very well.
I mean, it's on purpose because he wants to look at the receipts and go like, "Oh, remember
Jerk off
that?"
to it later.
Yeah. And
It's such a good deal.
They get a phone call from Jack at 4:50 p.m. He wants to speak with Officer Hooter.
Yeah.
Is Officer Hooter there?
I'm here for the wings. Just kidding. I'm killing all these women.
That was one of the cops that had driven around the red light district with Jack in September 1990. He knew he was being recorded, and he asked, "Why are the Graz police persecuting me? They have no evidence, so what is the meaning of this arrest warrant?" Hooter told him that he'd be better off if he cooperated with the authorities. Jack said, "No, I won't. I cannot bear going back into a cell, and this news has already destroyed me socially. There's no sense in my staying in Austria."
yeah.
Once my girlfriend learns to read, she's going to hate this.
Yeah. He calls the Austrian media to protest, and proclaim his innocence and condemn the manhunt. He said it was a frame-up job by desperate police with no real handle on the case. He said he'd fled simply to avoid being made a scapegoat. Bianca gets on the phone with a reporter
Oh no.
and says she's with Jack willingly. The Austrian media was letting Jack control the narrative, and he persuaded newspapers to publish his defense, where he chastised law enforcement. Like, this guy's got them by the balls.
Yeah.
Well,
They gave him his balls.
Some
Their
publications
balls.
paid him for this
Of course.
What?
shit. Some women reporters were confused as why so many men, and especially women, rallied around Jack. Based on their experience with Jack since his release from prison, they sensed he hated women. Bianca was also attempting to sell her side of the story to the press. She was happy in the relationship and went so far as to get a job as a go-go dancer in a nightclub to support them both. This is in Miami. I got to get used to this Miami thing.
Yeah.
This is
Shake
all
it
right.
around a little bit, yes.
He was told a publication called Success Magazine, which is a real magazine,
Oh.
wanted to
Oh.
I guess it's better than their initial magazine was failure and it just didn't.
well, because it was a setup by the police. They offered him $10,000 to do a story on him.
Oh wow, okay.
And
There we
Took
go.
the bait.
There we go, cops.
for like him on the run, you know what I mean? Like on the run interview. And they told him he can get $10,000 advance from Western Union. He sends her in to get it, of course.
Mhm.
He's in the car, and she gives her name to the agent. U.S. Marshals come out, and they grab her, and they made them show where they were staying, and they found Jack's travel journal, where he revealed that he'd contemplated killing Bianca.
The hell of a travel journal.
Yeah.
They grab him out of the car. U.S. Immigration Services were charging him with entering the country on a tourist visa without disclosing a felony conviction. The plan was to transfer him to the LAPD, where he would be prosecuted for the murders of Shannon Exley, Irene Rodriguez, and Sherry Ann Long. He would be eligible for the death penalty.
America.
Yeah.
It's pussyfooting around like Austria, you know what I'm
Well, to be fair, in California they haven't used it in a while.
Yes, that's true.
But Austria requested that he be sent back there for prosecution.
Or prostitution.
Yeah. Fool me once.
We're going to make you walk the streets. You're like a little girly man.
You're going to see how it is.
Yeah, then we're going to hire some guy to strangle you with your own brassiere.
Big guy.
Big guy, strong guy.
Maybe even Arnold
Yeah, we're
himself.
calling him up. Yeah, he loves his passion for justice.
Yeah. We can't get him before Rigno.
Italian guy, hard hearing. But he is strong, eh? Big guy, strong
guy.
If you get the Hulk out there,
The what?
the Hulk, the Incredible Hulk, you've seen, you watch Miami Vice, you watch the Hulk.
The Hulk. After 4 months in U.S. custody, he was extradited back to Austria, where he faced 11 murder charges, including his first murder in Prague and 3 in California, because they prosecute for things abroad.
Yeah. I like that.
Austria does not have the death penalty. And you can also get out if enough writers like you.
Yeah.
His trial opens April 20th, 1994, the birth of the Fuhrer.
420, bro.
Yeah.
Blaze it.
They bring in forensic scientists and FBI experts, the consistent murder technique and his proximity to the crime scenes. The DNA and fibers from his clothing were found on the victims. Psychiatric examination, Austrian psychiatrist Dr. Reinhard Haller diagnosed Unterweger for the second time as having narcissistic personality disorder and presented his findings to the court on June 20th, 1994. Due to severe decomposition, the cause of death could not be accurately determined for 2 of the victims, and the jury wouldn't present a ruling on the deaths of Regina Prem and Elfriede Schrempf. He offered the following statements to the press and the jury. It's true what the prosecutor says about me consuming women instead of living with and enjoying them, instead of loving them. But 15 years in Stein prison, how should one learn to have feelings? After my release from Stein, I was a greedy, devouring individual full of hunger for life. It gave me a feeling of happiness and triumph to have prominent people sit at my table. It gave me the impression of rising above from below. I am counting on a verdict of not guilty because I am not the killer. Your decision doesn't only affect me, but also the murderer out there who is laughing up his sleeve. I will not fall into a hole if you find me innocent. I have an apartment and a job. There are so many people who stand behind me who know me from my 2 years of freedom. For that I am humbled, but also proud that they have not made a mistake. I am innocent. Thank you.
2 years.
My next book, If I Did It, will be read on the ORF Children's Hour.
The jury found him guilty on 9 murders by a 6-2 majority and sentenced Johann Jack Unterweger to life in prison without the possibility of parole on the 29th of 1994.
Damn.
That night, while alone in his cell in Graz Karlau prison, close to the place of his birth, Jack followed through with a plan. He fashioned a rope out of a combination of shoelaces and cord from the trousers of his tracksuit
Into a B cup.
and hung himself. Investigators noticed he used the same kind of knot on himself that he'd used on his victims.
Fuck.
Before his suicide, Jack had let his lawyer know that he intended to seek an appeal. Therefore, under Austrian law, Jack's guilty verdict is not considered to be legally binding, so he died an innocent man.
Oh
for
my
Christ's
God.
sake.
Several figures, including Austrian writer Elfriede Jelinek, have since questioned whether Unterweger actually wrote Purgatory. So that's them going, I
never
know.
believed he wrote it anyway.
Yeah.
I think it was that Clive Barker fellow.
Yeah.
He's just also gay.
So, gentlemen, I mean, obviously what draws me to this is this thing of the excesses of liberalism are something that, like I was saying to you, that Martin Luther King quote that Barack Obama would always drag out about
The arc of history.
the arc of history is long, but it bends towards justice. But justice is not right or left. You know what I mean? And this was not justice.
Right.
No, but everybody, a bunch of people going, these poems are great, is not going to bring that girl back to life that got strangled in the woods. And then it led to 11 more people dying.
Right.
11.
Because we
11.
wanted to believe
Yeah.
that he and therefore us are all redeemable,
Yes.
right? Which is a noble thing. And
Yeah. But it's like the mental illness at play, or if it's illness or just, whatever, developed just, from abuse and everything else, whatever. The case is, it clearly was not cured.
No.
It's very like Frank Miller, like Dark Knight Returns, where like, the Joker's rehabilitated and they have him on the fucking David Letterman show or whatever facsimile of.
Yeah.
And he portrays himself as being cured by the good folks at Arkham, and he's a celebrity now and all that stuff. And then he goes on TV and then he fucking gasses the whole audience, like just waiting and waiting and waiting for that time to pull off just this compulsion that he has.
Yeah,
and he did make himself a quote unquote like more complete individual by educating himself in prison and doing all these things, but like that root kernel of who he is did not change.
Yes.
Right.
And the thing is too is that
maybe you don't start with those guys for that experiment. Like Sarah Carthy.
Right.
Yeah, for sure. It was clearly just the writing. The writing had brought out this thing of he had manipulated the country, and it was a con. The whole thing was a con. And they got him everything he wanted and more. And then they couldn't let go of it after he shoved it in their faces that he, like, how many fucking strangulations by Brazier are there?
Yeah. Especially with
what the fuck are we talking about
there's not that many murders.
I mean, like, like, he's not getting arrested day one. They find a fucking... Come on.
Yeah.
What the fuck is going on?
Like, there's 4.
They don't want to believe it. I mean, think about how bad they would look. I mean, they do look bad.
They do look bad. Yeah.
But the poster boy for your system is fucking reporting on these fucking crimes. Like, it was... they probably let it go just hoping that it would stop and everybody would ignore it because it's such a bad fucking look.
Oh my God, yeah. It's fucking crazy. And when these people are collecting Nobel Prize rewards later, is anybody bringing up, hey, remember when you let that guy get out and he killed 11 people?
Yeah. He didn't even write that.
Yeah.
I wrote it. Shit, I should have said that. I mean, so how do you measure reform? Doesn't have the murderous instinct anymore because he wrote these books? Like, how do you quantify whether he... The only way to do it is he doesn't murder anybody again.
Right. And then all it takes is one and then he's not... that's the thing about psychopaths are very good at feigning empathy.
Oh, yeah.
And they just don't feel it.
Yeah.
But they can fake it.
Mm-hmm.
And this guy, I mean, if he's writing all these fucking books and everything, like, got really good at it.
Yeah. Oh, I mean, like, and the thing is, like, I take that thing in telemarketers where they're talking about...
Oh, that guy disappeared, by the way.
Yeah. Pat Pespis is missing.
Oops. Did anybody try calling him?
I hope he's okay. Poor guy. They say that they deliberately hire addicts.
Yes,
because they're used to talking their way into getting stuff.
Yeah.
And it makes me think of that final thing in Sopranos too, where they're talking about therapy to them becomes just another con.
Mm-hmm.
It's like another scam, and I think part of the thing was like, I think he was like, it's crazy to think about like what he's aspiring to, because he's like going like, they're gonna make a fucking movie about me, and I can still kill people, maybe even famous ones.
Yeah,
like I think like he just kept going like,
how far can I push it?
Yeah, how far can I push it? And like because it was a frenzy. That 2 years, 11 murders,
2 years by the cops
that we know of.
The cop's not immediately making him a suspect. That he's going, well, they're never going to make me a suspect then. If I'm not the first guy.
10,
yeah. I mean, and then the persecution is seen as politically motivated because of his stature.
Yeah.
Like that guy that was president.
Yeah.
So that then like it's like now you throw everything into doubt. You go like, I was only saying that because he did it before once, and and he criticizes the police so much. So that's it. That there is even a method to that where you go like, oh, he's gonna piss the police off even more, but you go like, and he's also winning that half that hates the police already to his side.
Mm-hmm.
So
and
it's brilliant in a
and
way.
he's right. They aren't doing their job.
No, yeah.
Totally.
He knows better than anybody.
Yeah. You guys should be pissed off.
Yeah. You guys are not putting this together.
Yeah.
It's obvious.
I didn't even bury them.
I mean, he didn't even bury them.
I
Yeah.
have receipts. I mean,
He had literal receipts.
Yeah. There's photos of me and the victim.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. It's it blew my fucking mind when I found out about it because I was going like, what the fuck?
dude, never heard of this.
Yeah, it's crazy. I mean, he's a celebrity murderer,
Yeah.
not a murderer of celebrity.
Right, yeah.
He's a celebrity and a murderer.
He tried.
Yeah.
Yeah. If Zsa Zsa be chasing her around the house. Oh my God. Fucking Green Acres.
Cher's turning back time.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. He probably would have stole that pig.
Going back to his youth.
Yeah.
God, yeah. Yeah,
Yeah, and then him telling the story of his youth, and you immediately go, well, people are saying that's not exactly like that.
and the petition saying Austrian justice will be judged by the Unterweger case.
I guess they were right.
Yeah, they
They were damn right.
Yeah,
Just not the way they figured.
exactly.
Holy shit.
Dude.
I mean, do the families of the deceased, do they have a case to sue the state for releasing him?
Well,
I wonder how that works.
the minimum was at least done.
Oh, you're right.
So that was
You're
the thing where it was
You're
like-
right.
Come on, man. 15 for murder? You know what I mean? And it's just, it's one of those things that you go like, okay, I mean,
Yeah,
Gacy was a great painter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Okay.
So what?
Right, so he can
right?
pay in prison then.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, at least he's got something to do.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe if he would have kept this guy in prison, he would have kept writing more books.
Yeah.
How about you're depriving us of that art?
Yeah. Yeah.
That's a way to spin it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I want to believe.
Yeah, when he got out, his work really went downhill.
Yeah.
They should start making strangle-proof bras.
Only make him angry.
Yeah.
They just snap.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, yeah. There
Tits
you go.
falling out all
Yeah.
over Western Europe.
Jesus Christ.
Whoops.
Yeah, man. It's dark.
I can't believe it.
It's dark, but it's so crazy how out of hand it got.
Well, they let it get out of hand.
Yeah. Yeah. They let it get out.
We're repeating ourselves, but the fact that after the next bra murder,
Yeah.
After he gets out, they don't have any bra murders.
No.
For 15 years.
Yeah.
dude,
Then they're I mean, and then having him report on them is the thing.
and not having it's not, there are guys like, the guy that shot up from the bell tower in Texas, was
Yeah.
like, I'm
Yeah.
fucked up.
yeah,
Yeah.
something's wrong.
Something's wrong with me. Help me. I have these. This guy is not that kind of fucked up.
No.
No.
Unremorseful,
Yeah.
unapologetic,
Mm-hmm.
and just manipulative to the nth degree.
Yeah, I think one thing we haven't really talked about is that it's funny that he was just immediately to suicide. Once the full house of cards came down and he saw there was no more chances.
Yeah.
Because he thought he was still going to manipulate that jury.
Yeah. He definitely did with that statement.
Yeah.
Like that guy who was president.
Yeah.
I don't think he knows how to tie a knot.
No. You can't even fucking get over his gut.
Ugh.
To reach his shoelaces to do it. I think there was just a thing where he was maybe the whole house of cards really came down heavily on it because he said when he said that thing about I'm done socially
Yeah.
in Austria.
That's what really killed him.
Yeah.
That was because it's the
absolutely.
narcissism.
Yeah.
We are done professionally, man.
Yeah.
Yeah. No one's gonna publish his books anymore.
Yeah, it was the malignant narcissism that got him. It was like, shit.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, I understand the thing of we all want to think that we're redeemable and stuff, but
Some people aren't.
no, and it's a thing too where you go it's like asking cancer to be redeemable. You know what I mean? Like, it's just like...
Yeah, no one ever talks about the good parts of cancer.
Yeah, how aggressive it is. Its will to win at all costs.
At all costs, it kills itself.
You really got to admire it.
Yeah. It's I was just fucking blown away by it.
Yeah, it's still kind of blowing my mind right now.
And he's very handsome. I have pictures if you want to see.
I'd love to masturbate to him.
Absolutely.
Jesus Christ. What the hell?
Handsome will get you a long way.
Yeah, apparently.
What are you saying?
Say.
What do you mean?
Let's see here.
Yeah, you fuck up somebody when they're young like that, man. There's that mold is set.
Yeah.
down
I
in
mean,
there. As
not
much
a
as-
great start, obviously. But he's
maybe not like straight up freedom into the world. Like,
yeah.
give them a little biodome kind of
Yeah,
thing that they can work out in first, because like, there's too many hookers.
You can pass those
There's
around.
too many hookers in the real world for this guy. Like, you got to put this guy like in a Truman Show situation. Like,
Yeah.
you're kind of free.
What are you getting there?
Uh,
A little Jeremy Irons-ish in a way.
maybe he looks. Oh, there's the tattoo one.
What'd you say? Put him in a Truman Show situation?
Yeah, like you don't get a real world freedom.
Oh yeah.
Don't put him out in the real world. He's not ready for prime
This
time.
thing where they say like, the discreet monitoring of him. I'm like, how about overt?
Yeah, let him know.
Yeah.
Oh, I think I've seen this guy's face before.
Really?
Oh, Michael Fassbender.
Mm. Maybe the Cenobites have showed you.
Oh, dude, cool tattoos though.
Yeah, that's that photo shit they're talking about.
Yeah, it definitely looks like a guy who kills prostitutes though. I could see this guy really getting after it.
Jesus. You can see him tying one on?
Yeah, well, that's part of the problem.
Yeah. Yeah,
Jesus
he's got that
Christ.
ghoulish Austrian skeletal face.
He is quite like the dark, like the way the eyes
Sunken.
kind of shadow, like
Yeah.
there's some.
Yeah. He could play the evil doctor of a mental institute or something.
And also, TV anchor.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
We got to take a look at our TV anchors.
Sold his
Yeah.
ghouls.
I'm looking at you, Anderson Cooper.
Yeah.
I'm looking at you, Roker.
Yeah.
Roker's always doing the Cenobite weather report.
Pain. Back to you in the studio.
The forecast is pain.
Guy with a
Agony.
chance of buzzsaws. Back to you.
Yeah, Matt Lauer. Yeah.
Great story.
Yeah. I know it's a rough one, but it's the implications of it in society is the true eccentricity.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because, just don't start with those guys. Start low-level crimes.
Yeah.
Low-level crimes, guys.
Those guys don't write books.
It's too
guys-
busy thieving.
Yeah. It's only those guys that choke a lady with their brassiere and talk about, my mom!
Yeah, I saw my mom in there.
Those guys are good.
Yeah. And the thing about, the bizarre thing about, being so affected by his aunt's murder as a sex worker and how much it affected him. And you go, in what way?
Yeah.
To murder.
Inspiring.
Yeah.
He goes, I didn't know you could do that.
Yeah.
Really opened my whole eyes to a whole new world of pain.
Yeah.
Boy, do I miss her.
Jesus Christ. Well, gentlemen, I think we did it.
Well, John, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, John. Very good.
Dolly Sharton, of course, Piss Christofferson. Had a lot of fun with you boys.
I had some fun here too.
Go have me some fun tonight. I just want to say a real quick thing I did not remember in my Unterweger episode, which was immaculately constructed by the lovely Laura Crawford. I got interested in the case, and she did research for us, and I love her, and the episode was so great because of her. So thank you, Laura Crawford.
Thank you, Laura. We love you.
All right, gentlemen, I'm going to say goodnight. My name is John Fahey.
My name is Aaron Pita.
Good night, everybody. We love you.
Matt Brousseau.
Oh, sorry.
Sorry. Wait,
Goodbye.
What's my name?
Goodbye, buddy.